The Bad News Bears. It's nice to have a kids movie for kids that obviously the adults would want to watch as well, right? Michael Ritchie directed Bad News Bears. Bill Lancaster wrote it, Burt Lancaster's son, who has written two of my favorite films, John Carpenter's The Thing and The Bad News Bears. He left us too early, but I mean, those are two pretty solid credits. Michael Ritchie is such an interesting filmmaker, from The Candidate and Downhill Racer, Bad News Bears, Prime Cut. He really does things that to this day are hard to do and you get very envious about, where you stop and you go, oh, wait a minute, is this like a documentary? Do those people in the background know that they're filming? Right. You know, it's very effortless.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Sandlot is the most important.
It's more better than more than the Bad News Bears? Bad News Bears has, I mean, that, you know, when he throws the beer in her face, all that kind of stuff,
And it's a film that, if I had to pick one film that really looked how my childhood looked, it's this one. It was shot in the San Fernando Valley. It was shot in the North Hills Little League. I played Little League in Sherman Oaks, not too far from there. But the haircuts, the uniforms, the beer cans in the parents' hands, all of it is exactly where I grew up.
This is wonderful and funny. And it's a little innocent.
Well, listen, as somebody that played Little League at that time, and as somebody who now is coaching Little League at this time, kids are exactly the same as they were then and they are now. It's all exactly the same. And I think that in the script, and who knows if some stuff was improvised or, you know, just to kind of make it natural, Bill Lancaster has such an ability to kind of carve out the multiple types of personalities that end up on a ball club together. There's always going to be a couple kids that are superior athletes. There's always going to be the little Tanner kid who's looking for a fight. There are that many personalities in the dugout, and the film does a really good job of, yes, telling the Math House story and telling Tatum O'Neal's story. Those are our main characters. But Michael Ritchie and Bill Lancaster do such a nice job of handling everybody. Everybody kind of gets a moment. Walter Matthau walking out of the dugout and calling time. He's really one of the best. Every time he's on, he's so natural, funny, but can turn and give depth to things, and a mug like no other. And the best drunk, because he doesn't seem drunk at all, but he's just drunk all the time. He's just always drunk. Right. My mother always tried to inject some kind of, class into our education, and we were driving in a station wagon, and music from Carmen came on, and she said, "Oh, does anybody know what this is?" And we all said, "Bad News Bears." Said, no, not Bad News. It was in Bad News Bears.
Before that, yeah, that's right.
So to us, it's the score from the Bad News Bears. Well, it's the difference that you see when how Vic Morrow treats his
own son.
His own son.
Yeah.
Well, you've only had glimpses of those characters here and there throughout, and that it's certainly not a movie that belongs to the Yankees pitcher or to Vic Morrow, but the story ends up requiring that confrontation, where normally in a film you say, wait, why are we detouring over here to focus on the Yankee pitcher and the opposing coach? That's not normally how you should write a screenplay, but it ends up contributing to the overall thing. And it's just that's how good a director Michael Ritchie is. Yeah, well, that's some 70s dad shit right there. Apparently, there's an alternate ending where the Bears...
Oh, where Kelly Leak is safe, right?
Yes, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
How about Vic Morrow? That's the Tony Curtis one, right? When they go to Japan?
No, that was Japan.
It's only kids. It's Alan Parker's first film. He wrote and directed it. But it's not just a kids movie, it's also a musical, and it's a gangster picture. So it's ticking every single box so far. I don't know what we're missing of things that are great. Well, no, it made perfect sense to me. It wasn't weird at all. It was heaven. It was everything I dreamed of. Tommy guns that shoot whipped cream pies. It was never weird to me at all. Performances across the board are terrific, whether it's Fat Sam, John Cassisi. Alan Parker talked about her and that she just had an inherent understanding of how films work, that it was kind of freakish. I suppose it could also be weird. A kid's too precocious to ask too many questions, but he said she just had this innate understanding of the cameras and the crew and the performance and what was needed. And he said it was magical to work with. I was singing My Name is Tallulah.
You were singing My Name is Tallulah.
Things starring kids generally are not well shot. You know, it kind of feels like they're just like herding cats and kind of filming them. But this is beautifully photographed, as all all of Alan Parker's films are. You can feel that it's somebody coming from advertising, that generation of directors that came from the UK that were so good at shooting Ridley Scott, Adrian Lyne. But Alan is, to me, the fullest of them all, just because he was such a great writer as well. The story comes from the back of the vinyl record, where Alan Parker wrote some liner notes, and he expressed that he had written the script, and he needed somebody to write the songs, and who he really wanted was Paul Williams. I've read recently that, looking back at the film, Alan Parker and Paul Williams might have had a misunderstanding. If you read the same thing about Alan Parker, I guess, didn't want squeaky kids' voices, according to him, and then Paul Williams had done these demos, or maybe they were going to be demos, or maybe it was just the final recordings, but with adults singing the parts. And by the time Alan Parker got them to shoot, it was too late to change anything. I don't know what about it works. I couldn't even describe why I think it works, but it just does.